Are you someone who's thinking about solo traveling, but every time you look at social media, all you see are 20-somethings with no responsibilities living out of a backpack? And you think to yourself, that's not me. I have a job, a house, kids, responsibilities, a real life. I'm too old for solo travel. That is not true. Solo travel is not just for people in their 20s, it's for people like you and me too. Hi, I'm Brenda from Bon Voyage Brenda, and I am a solo traveler in my 40s, and just like you, I have a house, a kid, a real job, and real life responsibilities, and I still love solo travel. Today I'm talking about solo travel over 40, how to get started, where to go, and why it might be the best thing you ever do. My travel adventures did not start out in solo travel. In my 20s, I was in the military and I traveled a lot for work, and when I got married, my ex-husband and I traveled a lot with my daughter. When I got divorced, one of the things I was most sad about was that I lost my travel partner, and I thought that I wasn't going to be able to travel anymore because I was then a single parent. I am so lucky that I worked with one of the most amazing people ever, and she unfortunately had lost her husband when her son was very young. She continued to travel with her son all over the world, and when she told me about it and that I could do it too, my eyes were open to a whole new reality. I started out small. I took my daughter to Disneyland, and then that turned into an all-inclusive vacation in the Caribbean, and we had such a good time and fell in love with travel that when she was 9 years old, we took a year off and went backpacking for a year through Southeast Asia and Europe. It was one of the best years of my life. I love traveling with my daughter. As she got older and entered high school, she got busy with friends and sports, she got a job and started to drive, and she didn't want to travel with me as much. But I realized I still wanted to go, so I did it alone. My first big solo trip was when I was 38 years old, and I absolutely fell in love with traveling by myself. It is one of the most freeing experiences I have ever had. Solo traveling over 40 is absolutely amazing. Some of the things that I love about traveling now as opposed to when I was in my 20s or even when I traveled with my ex-husband or for work are that I can plan the exact trip that I want to have. When I'm traveling with my daughter or my friends or somebody else, I always have to take their wish list into consideration. I take it into consideration when I'm choosing where to go, where to eat, when to eat, what to do, what's on the itinerary. And when I travel by myself, I don't have to take anybody else into consideration. It's one of the only times in my life that I'm truly free to make every decision just for me. And for us women, especially us moms who are juggling careers, the gym, our kids, all these responsibilities, that freedom is everything. Later in life, you know yourself better and you know what you want. You can plan the exact trip that you want. You're not just going somewhere to party and get wasted. You can actually have the experiences that you want to have, whether that be museums, exploring the city, looking at historical sites, or going outdoors. You can do pretty much anything you want. You're also more financially stable, at least hopefully you are. This means you no longer are confined to the backpacker hostels. You can stay in nicer hotels, go out for nicer meals, and do more activities that might cost a little bit more money. Now, if you do want the hostel experience, you can still have that. Most hostels have a solo room where you can stay. You might have your own bathroom, you might have a communal bathroom, but you can still have your own space and privacy and then hang out in the common areas of the hostels. Some hostels do have upper and lower age limits, so be sure that you're not outside of those when booking, but most of them accept anyone over 18. Another thing I really love about traveling as an older adult is that I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I can just explore a city and not have to worry about hitting all the things that you're supposed to see. I know what I want to see and I know what I don't care about seeing, and I don't let social media influence me into seeing things that I don't want to see. I also love that I'm old enough to appreciate the exceptional experience of travel. Traveling is amazing and it's life-changing. And when I was younger and I traveled with the military and I traveled with friends, I didn't appreciate it in the same way that I appreciate it now. I really get a lot more out of my travels now that I'm older. Before we dive in and talk about how to get started solo traveling, there's a few myths that I want to bust first. The first myth I want to bust, we've already addressed a little bit, but it's that solo travel is only for the young. No way. I know plenty of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s who still solo travel and absolutely love it. Solo travel is for anybody who wants to do it. Myth number 2, solo travel is dangerous. This is just not true. Solo traveling almost anywhere in the world is no more dangerous than being alone in your hometown. It does take some common sense and preparation, but with the right steps, solo travel is safe. Myth number 3 is that solo equals lonely. This is not true, at least not for everybody. You have to know yourself a little bit. But I have had some of the best conversations and made lifelong friends on my solo travels. When you're by yourself, it is so much easier to meet people. I also discovered that my own company isn't half bad. And myth number 4, this is especially for us moms, is that solo travel or spending money on doing something for yourself is selfish. This is not true. Spending time and money on yourself, your mental health, and your well-being is one of the best things you can do as a mom. I know that every time I come back from a solo trip, I feel like a much better mom. I am rested and relaxed, and my daughter actually had an opportunity to miss me and wants to hang out with me, which is huge when you have a teenager. You don't stop being the person that you are just because you're a parent. So give yourself the permission to do something nice for yourself. Now that we've cleared that up, let's dive in to how to get started solo traveling. If you've never solo traveled before, I know that it can be completely intimidating to get started. I always recommend that people start small. If you've never been out to eat by yourself or gone to a museum by yourself, that's a great place to start. Take yourself out to dinner, take yourself out to a museum or a movie on a nice little date just by yourself and see how you feel. Once you feel okay with that, take a day trip somewhere close to your home, maybe somewhere that you've never been, and play the tourist in a city nearby. Go to museums, go to a sporting event, walk around, take yourself out for every meal that day and see how you feel. If you felt okay with your day trip, then maybe it's time to book a weekend away. And if you're okay with that, then it's time to start planning a bigger trip. If you're still a little bit nervous about traveling abroad or further from home by yourself, a good option for you might be to book a group trip. Group trips offer the flexibility of being by yourself in a group. There are so many companies out there. Just do some research and find one that fits your requirements and go somewhere that you really want to go. If you're ready to go it alone, then I highly recommend going somewhere that is really high on your bucket list so you can get really excited about it. That can help to overcome some of the anxiety about being off on your own for the first time. Do some research and make sure that the place you want to go is safe, especially if you're a solo female traveler. Make sure that the place is safe for women. I have been tons of places and it's very rare that I feel uncomfortable being solo or uncomfortable being a woman. On that note, I'm going to tell you a few of the places that I've traveled solo or have gone with a friend, but I still think would be fantastic for solo travel. Places that I have absolutely loved and maybe the perfect place for your first solo trip. The first one is Portugal. Portugal is a great place to start your solo travel adventures. It's really safe. As far as European countries go, it's really affordable, and there really is something for everyone. Lisbon and Porto offer really amazing city experiences, and if you want a more beachy vibe, you can go down to the Algarve and go to Lagos and some of the amazing beaches down there and have a really wonderful time. Japan is another really great option for solo travelers. It's super safe for women, and again, there are so many different experiences you can have. Japan is having a moment right now, and it is rather crowded. So if you are going to Japan, have a few things on your itinerary that are not Instagram famous so that you're not overwhelmed by the crowds the entire time. Other than that, Japan is a wonderful choice for your first solo trip. Italy is another great place to consider for a solo trip. I love the cities in Italy. There's so much history and there are so many activities that you will never have time to be lonely or bored. And the food is so good everywhere. If you're looking for something a little bit more adventurous, I highly recommend Vietnam. Vietnam is one of my favorite countries in the entire world. It is completely safe and it is one of the cheapest places you can travel. There is a well-beaten path for solo travelers and there is a huge expat community, so it's really easy to meet people while you're traveling there. You won't break the bank, you will have the best time, and the food is some of the best in the world. If you want to see more of the places that I've traveled, check out some of my other videos or go check out my Instagram. I put tons of photos over there. And you can always leave questions about places I've been in the comments of this video or any other video or post that you see. Once you've decided where you're going, some of the things that always help me on a solo trip are number one, to choose a location that's central. If I'm staying somewhere central, I don't have to worry about late night transportation. If I want to stay out late, I don't like riding subways or metros or buses or even getting Ubers really late at night. So staying somewhere central really helps me feel safer. It also puts me right in the action the second I step out of my accommodation, and I don't have to worry about the added expense of transportation. It makes logistics and pretty much everything a lot easier. Choosing a city that's easy to navigate will also help with this. Even if you're staying centrally, most likely you're gonna need to travel around the city a little bit. So picking somewhere with a good safe metro or buses or a tram system is really gonna help you feel more confident and better on your first solo trip. Packing light can really help with safety and also not feeling frustrated or too overwhelmed on your first solo trip. If you have a bag in each hand and you don't have a hand free to look at a map, or you have to let go of a bag to look at a map, you're opening yourself up to someone walking away with your bag. Having just a backpack and one suitcase and a hand free or just a backpack is going to make you feel a lot safer and also get a lot less frustrated. When you're traveling by yourself, you don't have somebody to help carry, and especially if you're going to Europe, there are gonna be lots of stairs that you're gonna have to navigate with your suitcase. Trust your gut. Part of staying safe as a solo traveler is to really trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, whether that be a situation, a street that you're about to turn down, or even a destination that you've chosen to travel to, give yourself permission to get out of there. Trust your gut because it's usually right. And also treat yourself kindly. Things happen when you travel. Things go wrong, you make mistakes, and that's okay. It's all part of the experience. Be really nice to yourself when something goes wrong because it definitely will. And getting down on yourself is just gonna make everything more frustrating. So give yourself some grace and be patient with yourself while you figure this out. I've been solo traveling for a long time and I still make mistakes on every trip. I hope that this video has inspired you or at least piqued your curiosity about solo travel. It is not just for the young, it is for anybody who wants to do it, and I am living proof of that. I solo travel in my 40s and I will continue to do so in my 50s, 60s, 70s, and for as long as I am able. So remember, you don't need permission, you don't need to wait, and you are not too old. The world is waiting for you. Go out and see it. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button. And if you want more videos like this, or if you want to see all the adventures that I go on and maybe get some more inspiration for your solo travels, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a thing. I would love if you followed me on social media. I would love to create a community of other travelers, especially women over 40, who really inspire each other to get out and do amazing things. And I hope that I inspire you to get out and see the world. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.